Are you thinking about participating in the housing market and have been wondering what's happening? There's been a lot of negative press about housing, and it has created a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty. And I want to give you some perspective on the reports that we're seeing, as I believe they've skewed the consumer's perception of the housing market's health. I also want to give you some facts on foreclosures, the movements on mortgage rates, and how it's all connected to where we are right now in 2023. Over the holidays, I was out and about interacting with my friends. I had a lot of conversations about the real estate market. And people would ask, "Hey, Joe, what's going on in the market? How's the market? I read this, I saw that." And I would say there's definitely a perception that the market is going south by the consumer. This general feeling is confirmed in a new LendingTree study that came out on consumer opinions on housing. I want to talk about the reality of the market, and I'm going to give you a few visuals based on research from NAR, the MBA, Freddie Mac, and other great resources that really show where the market is right now and where we think the market is heading. Let's start off with this LendingTree study, and I think there's some very interesting information we want to pay attention to right now. 41% of Americans believe the housing market will crash in the next 12 months. So really, what that means is if you're in a party of five, two of those people believe the housing market's going to crash. 72% believe the crash will be as bad or worse than 2008. Now think about that. The overwhelming majority think that it'll be as bad as 2008, and 58% expect the crash to happen this year, and they're postponing buying, selling, or investing. So let's talk about the reality of the market and the health of the market. Lawrence Yun, chief economist for the NAR, just posted in the last couple weeks this slide that really perfectly shows the differences between today and 2008. We can go through each one of these. Job cuts, 8 million in the last cycle, virtually none now. Total jobs in 2008, 138 million, right now 158 million. Subprime loans were all over the place in 2008, virtually non-existent. New construction in 2008 and the previous 5 years, they overbuilt 7.5 million homes. Right now, we're at 4.5 million homes. This is one of the many reasons why inventory is so low, and it's proven in the numbers. 2008, we had 4 million homes on the market, and right now we have about 1 million. Look at the delinquencies and the foreclosures. Those are big, big gaps comparatively. It's not even close to 2008, and it's so important for a number of reasons because articles like this just keep coming out. Read this headline. 15 years ago, the market crashed under similar circumstances. Now, if we go back and look at the facts from the NAR and we look at that headline, it's just not reality. The other question that a lot of people ask themselves or they think about is, okay, when are we going to see this wave of foreclosures coming in? And I actually hear this question a lot. And there's no doubt foreclosures are up, but still near record lows. And if you look through the third quarter of 2022, there were 88,000 foreclosures in this country. Compare that to 2019, the last sort of normal year before COVID and before the moratorium on foreclosures were put in place during that peak COVID period, we were at 278,000. So if you were to project 2022 based on that third quarter trend, we're going to finish with 125,000. We're nowhere near what we saw even back in 2019, and we see these articles all the time quoting that foreclosures are up and they're doubling, but that's because we had a foreclosure moratorium. Here's the deal why foreclosures aren't going to impact our market. We have a lot of strong sticking power on our home values because people have a lot of equity they built up from the last few years of appreciation. They can go out and sell their home, pay a real estate commission, and put a little bit of money in their pocket and sort of get past whatever financial crisis they're facing. This is a huge difference because back in 2008, that wasn't an option and it decimated home values. The question wasn't going to be, are you going to lose money? It was going to be, how much are you going to lose? It was horrific. The situation today is you may not make as much money as you would have back in the spring of 2022, but no doubt, strong appreciation over the last few years is benefiting sellers and keeping values steady. So let's touch base on mortgage rates. The other slide that I've used the entire year shows the trajectory of mortgage rates starting from the beginning of the year to where we are right now. And we've seen some relief in the last few months on the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, But 2022 saw the fastest rise in mortgage rates ever. We haven't ever seen a year where mortgage rates have doubled. Rates on November 10th hit 7.5%, and where we sit right now, we're pairing both sides of 6%. But as we go into 2022, I'm going to keep you updated on the information because that's a very volatile part of our market. I think I'll kind of wrap with this quote from Chief Economist from Bright MLS, one of the largest MLSs in the country, serving nearly 100,000 realtors. Prospective buyers may be tempted to try to time rates to jump into the market when rates dip, but timing is difficult. My favorite analogy for trying to time the market is like trying to run through the tines of a windmill. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you get a haircut.